Good afternoon, everybody. Phil Simons with Columbia Grain here in your Friday afternoon weekly grain market recap. Well, today is Groundhog's Day, and Punxsutawney Phil did not see a shadow, so it does look like spring will be here a little bit early, which is definitely welcomed as far as I'm concerned. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what we saw in the markets here this week. But again, really, there was a lack of fresh fundamental news, which really had the markets just kind of treading water more than anything. But let's go ahead and share my screen here, and let's take a look and see what we saw on the week. But if we navigate over to our favorite website, once again, columbiagrain.com, and in the upper right-hand section, go to the Producer Solutions tab. That'll take us over to our Producer Solutions links here. But really, again, this week was really kind of highlighted by the export sales, just as the lack of fresh fundamental news was really around this week. And if we take a look and see what the export sales snapshot was fairly light in all intents and purposes. But if you look and see where corn actually had a decent round of sales last week, which came in at just over 47 million bushels, along with a little bit of new crop as well for corn sales. Soybeans actually came in well under where the pre-report thoughts had us coming in at, and actually came in at 6 million bushels for the week last week. Again, all wheat came in kind of at the lower end of the ranges as well at 11.8 million bushels. And then you can see how the breakdown is by class. But really, that was kind of the big thing that we talked about here this week. And there really wasn't much to talk on, in terms of the export sales numbers. So really not a whole heck of a lot new as we continue to debate what we'll potentially see going forward for the planning intentions report at the end of March. But if we take a look and see what the actual ranges were on the week, we can see that we actually had some decent ranges, or some traditional ranges that we have been coming used to. But if we take a look at old crop corn, we see the weekly range was 12 cents, and the weekly net change was actually down 4 cents on the week. Soybeans for old crop, we actually had a 37-cent range there, lost 22 cents week on week. Kansas wheat, when we look at the wheat complex, actually had a 27-cent range again this week, but the net change was actually zero. So there was no change week on week for Kansas old crop futures. In Chicago, we had a 27-cent range, and we actually wound up losing 2 cents there on the week. And Minneapolis, we had an 18-cent range and actually lost 3 cents week on week here. So again, just highlighting the ranges that we have been seeing, and definitely that the downward trend that we have seen really over the last few months is definitely sticking around right now. In our last edition of our newsletter, we talked about, from the Producer Solutions standpoint, we talked about a ratchet sell order. So I did want to just kind of go over that a little bit more and just share this chart with you and explain it just a little bit more in detail. So basically what a ratchet sell order is a stop loss order that's placed under the current market that will act more like a safety net in the event that the futures or cash starts to go down, right? So it really does act more as a safety net. So this example just kind of says where the current market would be hypothetically for, let's just say, Kansas wheat. Let's say our cash price is at 650 for delivery into one of our locations. We can actually put a sell order underneath the current market, that if the cash price or the futures price comes down to our sell stop or our ratchet sell order, it won't actually trigger until we get down to that level. So let's just say hypothetically that the current cash market's at 650 today, and we put an order in to sell it, but only if it gets down to 630. So 20 cents under the current market. Now, hypothetically, let's say that tomorrow the market rallies up 20 cents, right? So what we can do is we can raise our sell stop order or our ratchet order up by the same amount, by this 20 cents. So we keep that safety net in check with where the current market is. And hypothetically, let's say that the following day, we move another 20 cents higher, and we're now at 690. Well, we can increase our ratchet sell order by the same amount. So you can see that as the market works higher, so does our safety net or our ratchet sell order. But then, hypothetically, let's say that the market comes down, right, to where our current sell order is at 690 in this example, and then at that point in time, we would actually sell our grain. The great thing about this is that it does place a safety net, under the current market. And at any time, since this is just an order, at any time you can cancel the order and then just sell wheat or corn or beans or whatever it may be right at the current market. So if anything else, it really does work very, very well in terms of a safety net to potentially just secure the floor of where we're at currently. So definitely reach out to your local manager, buyer, or merchandiser to take a look at all the different options that we have in our Columbia Producer Solutions platform. Really, especially looking out forward to new crop for hedge to arise, accumulator contracts, and minimum price contracts as well. So be sure to talk over all the different options that we have out there. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up. And remember, if your trading strategy seems to be working, you haven't used it long enough. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk with you next week.